Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of Guy with Tools Fixes Things. Today we're working on this here WRX, and we're going to be replacing the ball joints. So I already took this side off and got it all done. You can see shiny new ball joint in there. Well, you can't see very good at all actually, but that's the new ball joint right there. I'm going to put this back together and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. This is the new side. The other side was the bad side. I left it so I can have a little comparison here. So I'm gonna get that other side jacked up, put this tire back on, and I'm gonna wiggle them around and show you what you should be looking for to see if this ball joint's bad. And for the most part, this is gonna be a similar procedure to every other Subaru out there. But it's a little bit different because the control arms, the lower control arms on these WRXs are just, they're a little bit different. There's kind of an extra step in between. So I'll show you what that is and we'll get to the rest of the video. Alright guys, I think I got you lined up pretty good here. This is the good side, and you're going to be looking at, let's see, kind of like right down in here, there, and just above it, above the control arm there, at the ball joint. Focus. Alright, so I'm grabbing the tire here in the, about the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock position, and I'm wiggling it just shortly, like, you know, just short, quick wiggles. Now, I can't see it right now, but there shouldn't be any play in that. Now, let's take you over to the bad side and try to set this back up again. Alright, now here we are at the side that is bad. And I'm just doing the same thing, grabbing the car in the 9 and the 3, or grabbing the tire in the 9 and 3 o'clock position and wiggling it back and forth real quick. And I'm gonna also try from the top to bottom here, so there's not much play that way, but okay, here we are underneath the passenger side. Got it jacked up, and we're going to work the cotter pin out of this castle nut right here and then zip this nut off. And that's going to be our first step here. So I'm going to, like I said, work this free. Right tool for the job, that's what I always say. It's coming! Yep. Ah, fucker. Okay, now off with this nut. Will that fit? Nope. Now I'm going to leave this nut kind of on here a little bit, and I'm going to start hammering on this with a pickle fork. So next step here is to take, let me flip out the screen so I can see what I'm pointing at for you guys. Okay, so we're just going to want to be trying to take our pickle fork and wedge it in between these two, in between the, what the hell is this called? In between the control arm and the boot of the ball joint. Now, it's not really how you're going to do it if you're going to try to be reusing this. If you try to be reusing this, you want to be a lot more delicate, but I ain't reusing this. Now, the other thing is if you're like me, you got 2 pickle forks from Harbor Freight, you're going to want to use the one that has the bigger opening in the middle. You're going to need both of them, but you're going to want to use the one right now with the bigger opening in the middle. So here we go. Shouldn't be too crazy hard unless you live somewhere where the roads are salted and stuff like that, but here in Oregon our cars don't get too badly rusted up. And that's already free. Okay, so control arm is free of the ball joint. Now the next move is going to be to, well, actually I'm going to take this off the rest of the way here. Make sure it's completely free. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so take your washer and your nut, your castle nut, zip it back on here. Doesn't need to be torqued or anything like that, but get it on there again. Then, I believe this is a 14 mil. Now I'm sure it's a 14 millimeter because that one's not in the hole or in its respective position. Alright, I'm gonna go find the 14. I'll be right back. Oh, here it is. Found it! Take a 14 millimeter and take this right here loose. This is the sandwich bolt. Well, I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's a bolt that sandwiches the ball joint into the steering knuckle. Take it out. And you can try and wedge a screwdriver. There's a gap right here in the steering knuckle, kind of where my screwdriver is. And you can try and take a screwdriver and wedge it and pry it apart, but I find that you don't really need to that much, depending on where you live. But go ahead and do it to your heart's desire and break off part of your screwdriver inside of there. And we'll be getting that out. Anyway, first I'm gonna get the ball joint out. But what we want to do now is we want to take some kind of a pry bar, take this in here, and stick it between. Get my hand out of the way. But we're gonna. I'll show you with my finger first. You're gonna put it between this knuckle right here and this control arm, and pry down on the knuckle using the, or pry down on the control arm rather, using the knuckle as your lever or leverage point. So what we're trying to do now is you have this nut here holding the control arm to the ball joint, and we're trying to use the control arm to pry the ball joint free from the knuckle, which shouldn't be too big of a deal because I see it already moving. Let me try to go from the other side here so you can see the ball joint go free. Let's see what I can do. That came out way easier than the other side. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, now that everything's free here, so I can break this loose one more time. And then I'm gonna take these, is it in the shot here? I'm gonna rotate the camera a little bit. Take these sway bar end links off. Let's see if I can tip you up and get the top there. Beautiful. It's gonna be an 18. Let's see if I can bust a knuckle. Sweet. And now you should be able to pretty much just pry this the rest of the way down, out of the way. Just using the jack handle here. Yep. There it goes. And there's the old ball joint. And here's the new one. Now if you'll notice, if this camera would focus, shit. Now if you'll notice, the astute among you will be able to tell that there is a slight difference between the two of these. Alright, let's get this camera out of here and I'll show you the next part. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our old ball joint, both of our pickle forks, let me zoom out. both of our pickle forks, and a good old hammer. And you're gonna take it over to a workbench or a vise or something you can use to hammer on it. You're gonna take both your pickle forks, set them up as such. You're gonna wedge one of them in a little bit, wedge the other one in a wee bit. So the goal here is to drive this conical metal bit off of, if this camera would focus, goodness gracious, it'll have to be good enough. You're taking this conical bit off of the shaft of the ball joint. So this is going to be seized on here after all the years of just sticking on. You can see it's kind of crooked already. Yeah, you might be able to see. But we're just going to wedge the two pickle forks in here like this, in between this portion and the conical portion, and start hammering away. Point this away from anything that you don't want a metal object to fly off and hit, like your knee or your tail light or your neighbor's window. And there it went. This is the piece we wanted to get off. We're going to transfer it over to the new ball joint, and I'll show you what to do with it. Well, actually, we're not really going to transfer it over to the ball joint. We're going to just kind of drop it into the control arm. Okay, zoomed in and lined up about as good as I can be here, so let's go on with the show. You're going to want to take this little cone. It's a metal conical bit, the thing that we just hammered off, and swing your control arm down as such and drop it right into that hole right there. See it right there? And you're also going to not want to forget to drive out that little piece of screwdriver you broke off inside of there. Now take your new ball joint, take your new castle nut off of this in the washer. By the way, just go ahead and replace these castle nuts, man. It's like 30 or 40 cents for one of these at the Subaru dealership. It's super easy to it's super easy and super cheap to go ahead and replace that, and it's the safer thing to do. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take some sandpaper and wipe that out a little bit. So just a little bit of sandpaper here. We're going up inside the knuckle. You can't really see it, but just up inside the home of the ball joint here. Just trying to sand out some of that rust that had it seized in. Okay, that's probably good enough. Look at that, slides right in like butter now. Beautiful. Okay, and then next thing you're going to want to do is take your sandwich bolt that you had set aside and thread it in there. That's just going to keep your ball joint from trying to fall back out while you're wrestling it back into the control arm. But then you're just going to want to kind of wrestle these two around, line this back up. Actually, I'm going to try and see if I can... There we go. A little bit. Alright. Beautiful. Take your washer and your castle nut. Put them back on. Okay, let me pull this post up. So this is just from WRX forum. We got the lower ball joint to steering knuckle, which is this bolt right here. That sandwich bolt that I was calling it. That's 37 foot-pounds. This castle nut, you're going to want to tighten to 29 foot-pounds. And then once you hit 29, put an additional 60-degree turn on it. And then these sway bars, I can't find the exact thing, but I see here listed an anti-roll bar torque spec for about 28 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit these with 35 foot-pounds for the sway bars. So you got 35 foot-pounds on these two sway bar bolts, 29 foot-pounds plus an additional 60-degree turn, and then put your cotter pin through, and then this one is going to be 37 foot-pounds, but I'm going to just go ahead and round that off to 40. So there you go. So those are torqued, and I'm going to just go ahead and put that sway bar and link in back in off camera, and I'll well, you already saw the difference in the comparison in the beginning, so that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I mean, that's how you change your ball joint. That's how you change your ball joint on your 2017 WRX. This is going to be from 2015 to probably 2021. Whichever ones are going to if you have this style of lower control arm, then it's probably going to be this procedure for taking it off. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. If this helped you at all, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the rest of the videos on this channel, and thanks for watching.